Right, welcome back to the next part of the series, the AI series that being. Um, we'll do some AI strafing now, and we'll also start putting together the weapon class as well. Just a lovely little sword. Before we do that, we can fix a few things as well, make some few things a little better, some quality of life improvements. Let's have a look. We'll press play. So a few things are noticed. So there's our AI character patrolling. You'll notice that when they see us, there's almost like a bit of a delay before they start chasing us. Um, let's have a look. So we're going to lose the AI character. This seems to be the best way to lose them, otherwise I can't get away from them. Now you'll notice that the AI is going to keep coming back to where the AI character was last in it. Now maybe that's something that you like, or maybe it's something that you think, no, I want my character to forget about me straight away. You see me? She didn't even see me, did she? She's quite docile. Hello, I'm here. Hello, I'm here. Here. So there's also like a bit of a delay as well. Now maybe you like that, but if you don't, I'll just turn this off. We'll go into the behavior tree, and on our Blackboard based condition observer aborts, we'll change this to self, just here, and the same for this one as well. We'll change that to self. Yeah. So what that will do is you'll notice that when we press play, the AI character will see us instantly, so there's no delay. They'll just start to move to us, and if we lose them, they'll forget all about us. Pretty much a goldfish now, isn't it? So there's no right or wrong approach to this. This is entirely preference, isn't it? So whatever works best for you. But I just thought I'd show that. So the other thing you'll notice as well is when our AI character's chasing us and they're right in front of us, if we rotate like this, we're fine. But if we rotate around, our camera clips in. This is because the line trace from our character camera is clipping into the AI, treating it like an object, like a wall or something like it. This is because for the obvious reasons that the AI is basically blocking the camera collision in it. So for those that don't know, I'll quickly show you how to fix that. Let me just open our AI blueprint class from here. Now on the blueprint class, we'll go to the capsule collision. We're going to scroll down. Your collision doesn't necessarily have to be the same as mine. Where our presets are, collision presets, I'm going to set this to custom so I can change little things. I'm only going to change one thing, and it's this. It's set to block the camera. We'll turn that off to ignore. And we'll also do the same thing for the character mesh. Let's click on the mesh. We're going to look for our collision, which is just here. We'll set our collision preset to custom, and then just where it says camera just there, we'll ignore that as well. Press compile. Don't forget to save, because it does crash at times, Unreal. Close this down, press play. So now you'll notice that when our AI character actually sees us and we rotate around, problem's fixed, man. So yeah, I mean, just little things that make the difference in it, but yeah, that's all working now. So I think we should probably move on to do some code. Just quickly before we did some code, look what I've made for us, man. I've made us the amazing sword. Haha. So yeah, look at the topology on that. So I mean, all jokes aside, it is just a placeholder one, but for what it is we're going to do, this should do the job. Obviously, if you've got a better one, then definitely use that. But for the sake of the video, I've made us a little sword, and that should suit great for our prototyping, man. So let's go. Let me close this down. Actually, I don't need that open. I'm just going to create a folder in my content. I'm going to call this create a new folder. I'll just call this 3D. 3D. And then in our folder, let me just move this across. I'm just going to drag in the amazing sword. Import. There we are. So with the sword, let's open that up. Look at that, man. Looks even better in engine, doesn't it? Haha. So yeah, there's our amazing sword. We've got our amazing sword now. To download the sword, it's in the link in the description, so make sure you grab that. So that's our sword done. We should probably create a class for the sword. So let's go to our C++ folder, C++ directory, and we'll create an actor. Let's create an actor, and this will be our sword base. call it sword base, and then we'll create a new class. So this will be typically any sword that you have will derive from this class, wouldn't it? There we are. Compile, yeah. Oh, isn't it nice and everything just works and works quickly. Yeah, so yeah, here is our sword base. We're all good to go. So I think, yeah, we've done everything we need to do in Unreal for now. And let's start implementing the logic for the sword base. Right, so we ain't got like a whole lot to add in here. We're just going to construct the static mesh. Blue print read write, and then the category will be a mesh because it's a mesh. So that'll construct the mesh. Open to add a class, and that'll be a U static mesh component, and a pointer to our sword. That's what it is. It's a sword, isn't it? So yeah, that's everything we need for our header file. Let's go into our CPP file. Let's add the header, because if we don't add the header sometimes, when we try to compile, the static mesh just won't show, or it'll just throw an error or something weird happens. So let's add that. That'll be components, and that'll be static mesh component. That's the one there. Excuse me. Let's construct our sword. It'll be create default sub-object, and the sub-object we're creating is a U static mesh component. Oopsie daisy. I'm gonna practice writing component. We'll give that a name of text. We'll say, what should we call it? We'll call it weapon. Makes sense, doesn't it? But it's a weapon. Yeah. And then we'll attach that to our root component as well. Set up attachment, and the attachment will be the root component. Yeah. Right. So I believe that's everything we need for our sword for now. I'm not going to do a whole much with the sword, but I'll keep all these here. Maybe we'll add some stuff in here, like collisions and stuff in it. Yeah. So let's compile, man. Dun 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 dun. Oh, there we are. Wonderful, man. Isn't it nice when things just work, man? So let's create yeah, let's go on our content. Let's create another folder. We'll just create a weapons. Just call it weapons. Makes sense, doesn't it? It's a weapon. Go back in our C++ folder directory, back in here, and then on our sword, right click, and we'll create a blueprint class that derives from the sword base. And we want to put that where? In weapons. What should we call this? Didn't really think about that, did I? I'll just call it BP sword. That's what it is. You can call it whatever. BP sword. So there's our mesh. So on our mesh, where it has here just static mesh just there, we want to look for our amazing sword. There it is. Oh, every time I look at it, it looks even more amazing. Yeah, right. So yeah. So let's go down to our collisions. Now we've got block all dynamic in our collision. If you get lost finding that, it's Just type it in the search on our sword and we'll come straight away. Where it says collision presets, block or dynamic, let's turn this to overlap. Yeah, makes sense. So that way when we attach it to our character, it doesn't like have like weird like collision stuff going on and sending, it'll basically mess things up in it. So we're going to compile that, save. Let me close this down. Yeah, so that's the sword class for now done. Let's go back into C++. Now we're going to go onto the character class. Now on the character class, we'll just head just, where should we go? Just here under public, under the constructor of the character, and we'll add some stuff here. So yeah, we'll just add a function here. We'll call this AI moving right. We'll be calling it. We'll just take in a float, and this will be move right. So that'll be from like kind of like straight to the right or straight to the left, in it. Let's create a definition for our function. There's my green squiggly lines. Come on, come on. There we are. Right, so just in here, what we want to do is basically get the forward vector first. So be forward, be vector direction equals f rotation matrix. We want to get control rotation. That's the one there. And then we also want to get the scaled axis. That'll be scaled axis. That's the one we want. And the axis being the x-axis, capital X. So yeah, that's for our forward vector. And basically, when I get the forward vector and like the looking direction and normalize that. Maybe this isn't as important for the AI, but we'll do it anyway. Forward vector, and that will be direction of the X, direction of the Y, and we'll give that a float value of 0. Yeah, I'll do the job. Oops. And then we want to get safe normalize, get safe normalize, get safe normal, I think. Get safe normal, not normalize. Right, so yeah, that will do that. And we'll add movement component, input movement component, and that will take in direction and our move right. Yeah. Now, in terms of just for like moving forward, now we want to actually move to the actual right. So we'll say add movement input. So what we're doing here is basically we're getting the AI to use the input, and we want to say get actor right vector. We'll do that. We'll point to our move right. Yeah. So what we can do now is basically in our AI controller we can access this. So this will kind of push our character forward a bit, and at the same time it will have us almost like rotating right constantly for the moment that we call this function in it. So what we'll do actually, let's head over to the CPP, sorry. Let's open the controller, the AI controller, In fact, let's compile first, actually, just in case, make sure we're good. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's compile. We're compiling. My sound gone. I'm trying to tell you. Come on, there we are. Wonderful, man. So yeah, that's compiled. Yeah, so what we'll do now, go back into C, and we'll open up our AI controller from here, which is the CPP file just there. And then what we'll do, we'll head down into tick. What we'll do, we'll just add a, we'll just grab this here, our cast function, and then in tick. I mean, this is just for like testing. We'll just paste that up in there, and then here we can access the AI right movement from here in the character class. So if we say actor, and then we'll say AI move, and we should see that come up straight away just there. So that's what we're going to call. Now this obviously takes in a float, so we'll need to add that. We could do this right here, but we'll just do it the proper way. We'll open up our header file for the controller class. Yeah. Now on the header file, we'll just declare a float, and we'll call this move right, and then we'll also add a bool as well. We'll call our bool B AI strafe. Yeah, so that's if we're going to strafe in it. Yeah, so we've got our AI strafe and our move right. We'll go back into our CPP file for our controller. We'll come up to our constructor, and just under here we'll add the move right one, move right float, and we'll say this equals to a value of just 1, just so that it works. And we'll also add our B AI strafe, which will basically equal to false. We don't want to start strafing off the bat. So now we've added our float. Let's double check the name, make sure the name's the same in our character CPP. Move right, yeah. Don't think it really matters, but you know, it's good practice, isn't it? So yeah, back in our controller class for our AI, within tick, our move right function will add the float, which is move right, and that will now work. So we're basically calling that. Now what we also want to do is check if we're going to be strafing. So we'll say if B strafe, no, BAI strafe, BAI strafe. So if this is true, and only if it's true, do we want to start strafing. We will move all this out and organise it properly after. We'll grab this, let's copy that, remove that, and then paste that in there. So just in tick, just a test, we want to see if this is true, then we'll start moving right. Right. Well, we then need to go down to where we added our detection logic and patrol. So basically, if it's true, if we detect the other character, then we want to say AI strafe. Whoopsie daisy, sorry about that. AI strafe equals to true, and B AI strafe. Sorry about that. We'll just grab this. Let's pop that just under here, and we'll say if it's not true, then obviously we don't want to be strafing when we're patrolling. Right, yeah, I think that's everything we need for now. We should go back into the engine and compile. Right, so yeah, let's compile. Wonderful. So we'll head over to our behavior tree in our AI folder. We'll open this. We're going to plug this in. This is what we made from the last part. This is our rotate to face BB entry. We'll set this to 0. Set this to ignore self, and then V character location will be our object. For our move to, we need to allow strafe as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We also need to open the AI blueprint, so we can do that from here. And then just in the search, we'll type in rotation. Alright, and then we're going to say use desired rotation instead, not this one. I believe that's the right one, should be. We may change that later, I'm not sure actually. We'll save that. Close this down, and then we'll press play. So there's our AI character. Hello, I'm over here. Yeah, so you'll see that our character is rotating senselessly. Our AI character is rotating around our character like yeah. Obviously that's not what we're looking for, but you can kind of get the idea. We're going obviously anti-clockwise. Let's on the right side, so let's press escape. Let's go back into C++, and then just where we detect in our character CPP file, where we set up our AI move right, if we just put a little takeaway sign there and then compile, we should start going the other way. Alright, so yeah, now we're going clockwise. See, so I mean it's pretty clear what we have to do, isn't it? So the animations might be off, but when we implement the state machine, this will all make sense. It should really come together really nice. Let me just come out of this. What I'll do is, let me go back into Visual Studio. I'll just take that out because that's for right. Now in our game character CPP, we'll go back into our header file, and then where we declared our AI move right, we can just copy this and then just paste that under there, and we'll have one for left as well. That'll be for left movement. So I'm being a bit silly, but we'll start with left, right, and it. So left goes above right. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so AI moving left, AI. Yeah, so we'll create a definition for that, the same way we did for the other one, and then we can just grab all of this that we created in the move right function and paste that in there. We'll have to change these to left. Alright, and then change that to left as well. And then don't forget, we need our little takeaway sign. There we are. Yeah, so obviously it's quite simple when you think about it. Now you may know a better way of doing this, and that's absolutely fine. Feel free to put that in the comment section. I don't mind being corrected. You know, as a developer, the learning never ends, does it? Right, so yeah, we'll just compile that, and then we can get on to adding a bit of randomness and timing this to, so it's not constant. We can also set a speed of how fast we want the strafe to happen and all that kind of stuff, which we'll do now, so that's wonderful. Right, let's have us double check that. Let's make sure we're, hello, yeah, back on the right side, so that's cool. Yeah, so let's improve that and make that actually work, because we've done testing that now. We'll go back into Visual Studio. We need to go on our AI controller class, and we need to add some stuff here. Now if you saw my random functions video, you probably understand what it is I'm going to do. If not, I'll quickly go over it now anyway. Back in a sec. Hello. Right, I'm back. So yeah, let's carry on with what it is we're doing. So we'll add another float here. Move left as well. We need move left and right. We've got our ball. We'll add a int 32, integer 32 for our AI random strafe. Yeah, that's a cool name. We'll also add a timer handle as well. So we f timer handle, and then we'll call that a AI strafe timer. Yeah, that's a cool name, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. We'll add two functions as well. One for AI. No, sorry. We'll go with start AI strafe. Yeah, that's the one. So we want to start it. Then we want to say. Then we actually want to do it as well. So we'll say AI strafe. So yeah, I think that's everything we need for the header file for now. Let's create some definitions of these. Right click, create definition, and then go back into the header file. Right click, create definition. That's it. That's that done. So in our CPP file for our controller, let's head up to the top. Just in here, we'll add the Kismet library because we need that as well to handle the math of the random stuff. Now we want Kismet. It's in that folder, I believe. Kismet math library. Yeah, that's the one. Wonderful. So yeah, let's declare some stuff in our in our character detected function. Just where we declared our bool, just here, we'll add our timer here for how often we want to strafe. Right, so we'll say get world, and we want to get the timer manager. Set the timer for our AI random. What do we call it? Random strafe timer. That's it. And that'll be for this. And a BTT task controller. Excuse me. We want to call a function from here as well. So we want to say we want to call our start AI strafe, and we want to do this say every 0.5 seconds. Maybe you want to do yours a little bit different. That's okay. We can always come back to this and change the values, and we'll set this to true as well in it. So that way we can just keep doing it. If you just wanted to fire off once, then yeah, just set that to false, obviously. So yeah, that's that done. Our timer. We'll head down to this function now and add some stuff in here. So in here we want to add our AI random strafe strafe equals to our Kismet library, math library. Yeah. Then we want to get our random integer in range. That's the one there, and that will be between two numbers, and it's 0 and say 2 in it, which is typically 3 in it because 0 still counts as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's everything we need for that. And then so that's going to start the randomization of the numbers, and obviously based on the number that we get in here, we'll add some more stuff here as well. Right, so in here you can just say if our AI random strafe, I'm getting confused with all these different names, if it equals 0 we can do something. If it equals move this back a bit. Yeah, let's grab this, slap that under here. We'll take in maybe 3 on it, so that one will do nothing. 1, 2, yeah. So that's 0, 1 and 2 within our random integer range. What we'll do, we'll go to our tick function where we put this in here. We'll grab this, we'll take this out, delete that because we're not testing that anymore. We'll bring this down here. Now for our, that was right, isn't it? That's for moving right, yeah. So we've got one for moving right. We'll grab our cast, so we don't need to cast twice, just once. Right, won't be a sec, let's just organise this. This needs to be wrapped outside, not within here. We'll get rid of that as well. Yeah. So we're just checking if the AI strafe is actually true in it, and we can grab all of this within here and just slap that in there. We'll grab this for moving left. I'm well aware that we need to put this in our constructor, our move left float. I don't believe I did that. Move left, and that'll be for moving left, right? Yeah. So if we roll the number 0, we ain't gonna do anything. You can put something else in there. You can add multiple ones in there as well. Just don't forget to change this number. If we get 1, then we're gonna go left, and if we get right, then we're gonna go right, and that's going to be getting called every 0.5 seconds. So if we go up to where was it now? Yeah, up to our constructor. We forgot to add, well, not we, me, blaming you guys. We'll add our move left float value, and that will just be 1 as well. And I believe that's everything. Yeah, so yeah, let's go and compile, man. Right, so actually before we compile, I do apologise, I did forget something. Let's go back into Visual Studio. We need to update the AI strafe function because the AI input needs constant input through the update, because obviously there isn't somebody actually controlling it, pressing buttons, but the controller. So we'll go up to our update function and we'll just slap in the AI strafe because that needs to update. I think that's everything this time. Yeah, so let's compile. Compile. Dun 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 dun. Come on, nice and quick. Come on. Unreal, man. Oh, there we are. Wonderful. So yeah, let's press play. So there's our AI character doing a little dawdle again. Now you'll notice that, can you see, we've got that little bit of a stray thing going on. Now obviously it does look a bit weird and it's not perfect. We can have a play around with the values and kind of like find a sweet spot for that in the next video. So yeah, once we get the animations like with the state machine working, that will look pretty cool, man. You'll notice also there's a little bit of a delay, like the AI character stops in between strafing, so we can probably change that if you like. Let's go back into Visual Studio, and just down here we can make a small change here. Right, so in here we can you see here in our if AI random strafe equals 0, we're not actually doing anything, and that's when we're basically not, our AI character is not moving. So we could, if we want to, remove this, change this to 1, because it's only going to be 0, 1 now, and that will work. Again, just a matter of preference. Let's just compile. Nice and quick, please. Oh, lovely. Press play. Yeah, so now you can see that the AI is basically chasing the player and not stopping in between, like rotating. You can also see that the strafing is constant, so maybe we can put a bit of a cooldown on that as well. But that's starting to come together a bit better as well. Yeah, I think we need to put a cooldown on the strafing because it's probably a bit much. So let's go back into Visual Studio and do that. Right, so what we can do is we can create another random. So if we go back into our header file, and if we just grab this, copy that, slap that under there, bang, and then and then add AI random strafe timer. So now I've got a timer for when how often we want that to happen. So we go back into our CPP file for our controller. We can then grab this, copy this, and do I want this to happen first or the no, I need that to happen second actually. No, first. Yeah, second first. It may not make a difference to be fair. Now what we can do, we can set this to say 5. Yeah, and then in here for our AI random strafe timer, we can basically say, well, we could put a little check in here and say, if our AI random strafe timer say equals to 0, then we'll do that. Let's grab this, put this over here, and then we could pretty much do the same thing. So we can basically say only if it's 0, so that's like a 1 in 5 chance, isn't it? Because, well, 1 in 6 really, isn't it? So let's bring this to 4. So let's give that a blast. I think that should definitely be about right. I mean, you can obviously change the odds yourself by obviously changing the timer just here. So let's give that another compile. Nice. Right, let's press play. Hello AI. So as you can see, it's not happening as much. So that's pretty cool. It's only happening every so often. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. You have a play around with that and see what works best for you. Okay, back in a moment. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. The outside world interrupted. So yeah, let's get back into it. What we can do actually, we'll go to our behavior tree just here. We'll open that up. We'll go to rotate to face BB entry. We'll set this to actually 10. Let's give it some precision. Save that. Close that down. Just double check that we're chasing well and doing our strafe every now and then. Yep. Yeah, it seems to be working good. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's set up the weapon class. We need to go to our character class, your character class, and what we're going to do now, we'll set up the attachment for the amazing sword that we made. Well, I made for us. We'll set that up and attach it to our AI character. We also want to make it so that when we detect the player, we want to basically equip the sword into the hand. So we're going to program in the animation as well. So yeah, let's do that. So in our character file, your character file, just in public, we need to make these public so we can access these from the AI controller. We'll add a few things just here. So yeah, just here we need to set up a subclass of our sword base, similar to what we did in the AI controller when we referenced the main player character. We'll start off with you, property, and we want to edit defaults only, and the category will be a weapon. Yeah. So it makes it easy to find in the editor, and that'll be a T subclass of class will be a sword base, and that will be a amazing sword So an amazing sword class. I'm sure it is. We'll add another reference for the class. That will be our class. A sword with a pointer 2. Amazing sword mesh. Yeah. So not sword base. Yeah. So yeah, this is similar to what we did in the AI controller, isn't it, for our main player character. So yeah, that's everything I need there. So yeah, let me go into the CPP file and let's go to event begin play, and then just here we're going to attach the sword to the AI character. Yeah, and we'll do that by saying actor spawn parameters we need, and then we'll just call this spawn so we can spawn our sword, and we want the spawn to obviously never fail, so that'd be B. No fail equals true. We also want to handle the spawning override to make sure that no matter what happens we always spawn. It'll be spawn collision override equals E spawn actor. We want always spawn method regardless. We won't have any issues with it spawning unless you have like some weird collision. So that will all make sure that this sword will always spawn regardless of what it's colliding with or whatever's happening. That's pretty cool, isn't it? We next need to add set up the attachment now. Right, so do this by an amazing sword class. That there, and we'll set up our transform for that. Transform, we'll just call this transform, and then we'll set up a rotation and no location and rotation. Transform dot set location for our F vector, which will be a 0 vector. And then we'll also set up the rotation as well. Set rotation. That'll be a F rotator, and that'll take in a 0 vector as well. No, not 0 vector, 0 rotator. Yeah, wonderful. We also need to spawn it. So we're spawning this typically to how we'd spawn a projectile, but obviously we're only going to do it once. So get world. Oopsie daisy. Oh. There we are. Let's fix that. Yeah, get world. Spawn actor. And the actor we want to spawn is a sword base. It will be the amazing sword class, not mesh. And we're just taking our transform and spawn. Yeah, lovely jubilee. We also want to basically now we want to attach it to the actual bone. So we kind of want this sword to be on like the character's AI character's hip in the event begin playing it, and then obviously equipped to the hand if we detect the player. So it'll be amazing sword mesh. jubbly. Yeah, I want to say amazing sword mesh be attached to component. Amazing sword mesh attached to component. Get mesh. Lovely. For attachment rules, we want it to F attachment transform. The attachment rule should be snap to target, including scale. So obviously keep the same size. Now we're not going to create the bones just yet. We'll do that in the next part. But we're going to attach this to a bone on the character, and we add some bones. We'll call this. Sword leg. Sword leg. Yeah, sword leg's fine. Let's fix this. What's happening with that? That'll be amazing sword mesh. Oh, sorry, my bad. We also need to add this in our header file. So let's go all the way up to our header, and we'll add our sword class as well to include it. Include that, and that will be a sword base. That's the one, and I should get rid of that error right there. Yep. Nope. Maybe so. Yeah, let's fix that. So yeah, this is going to basically attach the sword to our character's leg. Let's go back into Unreal, compile. Dun 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 dun. Come on. Lovely jubilee. So what we'll do, we'll open up our AI character class. Right, open up the blueprint, and just here in the search we'll type in weapon, and that's our amazing sword class. We'll add our BP sword, compile, save, and close this down. Now when we spawn, you'll see that the sword is attached kind of like between the feet of the AI, so let's just press play. Can you see that there? So obviously we've specified the bone, but we haven't created the bone on the actual character itself, which we'll definitely do. So obviously, because we've not done that, it's just going to go to the 0, 0 vector that we actually set in code. But once we specify the bones, create the bones on the actual character, then we won't have a problem. So let's go back into Visual Studio. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go into our character header file. We'll add some things just here at the bottom. This will be like setting apart animations that we're going to need later on. Be U property, and that'll be edit anywhere, and that'll be a category of a. Oops, that'll be a category of a animation. Oops. There we are. So that will be for a actor, for a game character. Well, we'll grab this. We need 3 more animations, well 3 animations. We'll get rid of that. Turn this to a U, and montage. and we'll call this equip sword. So that'll be our first animation, equip the sword. Equip sword. This one will be unequip sword. And that will be unequipped sword. Alright. And then the final one will be sword attack. When we actually do the attack. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. So yeah, that's everything that we need there. We just go just further up here, and in our place where we set up our AI stuff, we'll add a few more things just here. So in here we'll add the start equip weapon. So we'll start to do it. So we'll use a timer with this as well. Then we'll have a void complete. No, we'll just say equip weapon. So we'll start to do it, and then it will actually happen. Then we'll say void end equip weapon and unequip. No. Start on equip weapon. Yeah, let's grab this. Yeah, I'll do. So, start an equip weapon. Yeah, I'll do the job. What else do we need to add? We'll add a bull as well to see if we're actually holding the sword or not. So that'll just stop us from constantly re-equipping and obviously equipping the sword for the AI character. So that'll be equipped sword. I could say also we need 2 timers. Be F timer handle F timer handle. We can call this one equip sword timer, or something like that. Timer start, and then it's timer start and timer end. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we'll do another one here as well. Timer handle, and that will be equip sword timer end. Right, so yeah, I think that's everything we need now. Let's create some definitions for our functions here. So let's right click, let's go back into our header file. Right, wonderful. So yeah, so we'll add our sword if B sword equip has to be false. So we'll check if we actually hold the sword before we start to do the animation and actually try to equip it. And then we'll use a timer to set basically our sword in the right place. That'll be get timer manager. Be set timer, and that'll be for our equipped timer to start, because it's starting. That makes sense. So timer, so world, and that'll be for this and a game character, of course, and then we'll call the equip weapon function, and we want to do that, say 0.6. yeah, so that'll basically make sure that the sword snaps to the hand just in time, in sync with the animation. So we'll first run the timer off. While the timer's going off, we need to actually play the animation. So for the animation, let's say get mesh, set animation, equip weapon. I think I've made a small mistake. I can't call the animations, I can't give them the same name as the function, so let me just quickly go back into the character header file, and at the end of all of these, sorry about that, we can just put animation, animation, yeah, I should fix that. So go back into our CPP file, and then at the end of this we'll just put animation. Right, mesh, square mesh. Why is that not working? Equip weapon animation, equip sword animation. That's it. Sorry about that. That's sword. Right, yeah, that's correct. So yeah, that'll play the animation. We also need to get our anim instance, even though we've not really put it together just yet. We'll need that. Get anim instance. Get anim instance. And play the montage. Play, and that will be for our not pause, play, and that will play, and that will be for our equip sword animation. Yeah, so yeah, that will start to play the animation. Obviously while that's happening, there's a bit of a timer to when the sword should snap in. So that's for starting. We can just grab this, start, we'll put that in start equip, unequipped, we'll put that in here. So we can only unequip if the sword being held is true, and then we can change this to end for that argument there. I'll do it for that, and then we want our, I'm just going to grab it, the unequipped sword animation is the one here. as well. Yeah, so if it's not, then obviously we're going to put the sword back. If we head just further down here where we set up art attach, we can just grab this, and ideally if we're calling this function here, we'll start to equip it. Then from here we can say start to equip, and if it's going to be equipped, instead of the leg, it's going to be the hand, the sword hand. And then for this it'll be the leg. Now we also need to set the bull as well, so we'll say I think probably need to say if it's true or not on it. So if it's equipped, then the B sword equipped equals true, because the sword is now equipped. And then if not, if it's at the leg, then obviously it's false. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much everything we need for that part there. So that'll give us our animations and stuff. Let's go and compile. Dun 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 dun, come on, nice and quick. There we are. So I'll press play. Okay. Let me come out of this. There's an issue sometimes where when I basically program in something, it doesn't show. I've found this to be something in 5.4. So if I go on here, the character class, or any character class, I should be able to see those animations here, and I can't see them, which basically means that the changes haven't taken place. So I'll be back in a second. I'm going to have to recompile a couple of times. Right, I'm back. So yeah, after a couple of compiles and restarts, I've got the animations to show. If you have this problem, just restart, compile, restart. It will show after a bit. Sometimes compiling from actual Visual Studio here, if you click on build solution, that can also work quite well. I think this might be something to do with Unreal Engine 5.4, because in the previous versions of Unreal, if you compiled your code, typically what would happen is sometimes the engine would crash, you'd restart, and everything would be updated, and all the changes will be there and apparent. But for some reason in Unreal Engine 5.4 it doesn't seem to crash as much, but then it also doesn't seem to update the changes as much. So yeah, I just thought I'd point that out in case you have a problem with that. I made some small changes to these four functions that we were just putting together. As you can see, I added a debug message so we can actually see it happening, because obviously we haven't we programmed the animations in, but we've not done the state machine just yet. I also fixed this as well, where we start unequipped weapon. I've changed that to that. That was initially the same as that, so it would have done the same thing. So yeah, that's what I've changed that to. So from here now, what we can do, we can go into the AI controller, and we want to be able to call these functions. So when we do see another character, then we can call start to equipped, and then if not, then we can start to end it. So yeah, let's do that. So let's go into our AI controller. Yeah, let's come up here just a little bit. In our character detected part, we want to put this in here. So we want to say we've already set our walk speed, and we've got a reference to the actor, so we can do the same thing again and say actor, and then we want to say start. Can you see it there? Because we made that public, so that's available to us. Alright, so we can start to equip the weapon if we detect the player, and then obviously if there's no detected player, then we'll do the unequipped. Unequipped, start unequipped, unequipped weapon. Nice. That's the one. We'll start to unequip. So all the other functions are handled after that anyway. So, whoops daisy. Yeah, so let's recompile again. So yeah, let's do that. That's all done. Wonderful. So let me just press play. Let me see if that's updated. No, okay, I'll do that in here. Build solution. If it works for you, you don't necessarily have to compile from here. We'll probably see the changes now. Ah, can you see the message equip weapon? So that means that the AI would have their weapon equipped right now. If I can just lose them, which I will do now, you'll see the message pop up unequipped because now they've lost us. Yeah. Go back and weapon equipped. Let's get away again. Weapon unequipped. So what will be happening is obviously they'll be pulling out their sword when they detect us, and then when they don't see us, then they'll put the sword back. So yeah, that should be cool. Yeah, and I think that wraps this part up. In the next part, we'll get the animation showing and working, as we've already programmed in everything else. We'll just be going over like the state machine stuff and aim offset stuff as well in the next part. So I'll see you over there. Also, if you need any help, do reach out to me. I will get back to you as quick as I can. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next part.